What's happening, people? So today I want to talk about bouncing back from a bad situation, which anybody can go through, but I've been through it myself, and I want to tell you that, you know what, you're not the only person, but people just don't make videos on it. They do, but you just come across my video. And why I want to say this is, one day you could be feeling like shit, right? I felt like that. I felt depressed. I felt like, oh my God, don't know what's going on. But is your problem only bad because how you're making it magnetize, yeah? So we always look at situations which we go through personally and say, oh my God, I don't know how we're going to deal with it. On the flip side, there is somebody else who is going through something which is probably 10 times worse, right? And I realised that for myself because, you know, at times we can only comprehend what we go through and not what others go through. So therefore there's this disparity within, oh my God, what's going on? Oh my God, how am I going to deal with it? I've been in that situation many a times, whether it be work, it's definitely work. I thought to myself, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right? I've got bills coming out of my head. Oh, what do I do? But the grown-up thing to do is to bounce back from it. And why I say bounce back from it, because sometimes I'm playing into those situations and obviously making them a little bit worse by worrying and thinking the worst. Yes, we all need to get our bills paid. Yes, we all need to get things sorted out. But it will happen. Do you get it? Most of us as people, we work out solutions. So working out your solution for your problem is the strongest thing that you could do in any point. People can say, stay cool, stay calm, but that ain't really going to happen sometimes because you're still worrying. And if you've got true friends, people around you to support you, they see the realness within yourself, which is your character is a lot stronger than this, you know. You can't let this situation define you into who you are and what you're capable of doing. My friends have told me this many a times, and I've kind of had to ask them for a second, like what do you think about this? Oh, come on, man, you're bigger than that. And when they say to me I'm bigger than that, it does let me think how far I've come from where I've come from, because everyone's come from different places in life, whether it's different walks of life, whether it's different just upbringings. Do you know what I mean? When you have a different type of upbringing, it will make you resilient to a certain type of behavior. It will make you resistant. I am very resistant to certain types of behaviors because I understand myself. Me and others will be sustainable to it, or me and others will be affected if I allow this situation to get the better of me. And we've all been there. We all might look back at them situations and say, do you know what? That had you up in a certain time. Yeah, I can never let that happen to me again. Which is true facts. Again, look at how you overcome something, whether it be a problem, whether it be a situation, whether it be how you became victorious at the end. Remember, the race is not won at the beginning, it's won at the end, right? So if you run this race of life and you're not winning at the beginning, I can honestly say I wasn't always winning at the beginning. I'm not really winning right this present moment, but I know it's not just about the starting blocks and getting off and getting to a certain point, because you get to a certain point and you think to yourself, I want to give up. I felt like that before because others, their influence has got into my plans of what I'm doing. But how do we stop that? We stop that by focusing on ourselves, understanding how far we've come to where we've come from. Do you understand? So I've come very far in a sense of being grown up, allowing myself to understand that I do make mistakes, and even my idols, men who I look at as proper role models in life, as what a real man is, paying his bills, doing this, that, this, they tell me that they fuck up. So it's okay for you to fuck up, but learn from those lessons. And those lessons will pay you in the future. They will pay you later down the line. And I've realised that, because not having all your eggs in one basket when it comes to work is the perfect thing to do. To be able to have different options, to be able to switch in, to switch out, it allows you just to be able to operate on a different scale. I've realised that myself when I'm sometimes looking for jobs, which I have been. I've been applying for a lot of jobs. Sometimes you don't get what you want. Sometimes the vacancy or whatever was out there, it's not what you need right now, but it will definitely suffice you till you get to this other point. I don't want to sound weird by saying if somebody offers me a job for this, I wouldn't take it because I need this. Ideally, I know I need, let's say I need $6,000. I know I need $6,000. But if someone can offer me a $2,000 or a $3,000, I will take it. Because it's better to have than not have, right? Just remember that. And it doesn't make any sense to go without. And even as a tradesperson in those situations, I've had to go without or had to go on a slower pace because I'm waiting on somebody else. Again, how long I let it frustrate me or be at the front of my mind instead of focusing on other things and saying, you know what, you can only do that once to me. I need to learn the lesson for myself and understand that these things happen. It's out of your control. But what is in your control is the things which is in your parameter. They're not in other people's. Like me going and looking for somewhere else or finding another job ASAP when this person bothers me or ticks me off, or let's keep it real, fucking pisses me off. That's what they do. And I realise, I see certain telltale signs when it's time to move. It's time to keep things going. Again, we can't worry about spilt milk right then, because what you need to live might hold you back, and your emotions or your feelings towards something will allow you to be feeling salty about a situation. When, let's keep it honest with everyone, being salty isn't going to help pay your bills, isn't going to help, do the things which you, just the vital things which you need to do for yourself. I've realised that. So I would suggest, and I can only say it from a man's point of view, yeah, there's a lot of pride what you got to put aside. And when you put the pride aside, you're able to see what is the reality. And what is the reality is more times is getting on with it. Get on with it. Deal with it at a time when you know you're in a better mood or you're in a better place. Yeah? I'm not always in the best place to be able to talk about some of the stuff which I went through because I'm still dealing with it in my head. I'm still processing it. But I can't fester on any of those types of ideas because they're non-productive. They're not where I want to be in the future. They're somewhere where you had to be to pass time, but it's not where you want to be ideally. Again, how you make a situation seem for yourself will cause more stress upon your own shoulders, and it's a heavier weight for you to carry on your shoulders. Your shoulders are only so broad, so are mine. Even though I feel that I can do everything sometimes, I'm only one person. And so are you. One person with one plan. Stick to your plan. Don't let people really deviate you from your own plan. You have to understand, every great person, yeah, when they were trying to do something, whether they're trying to be successful in life, trying to better themselves, they had hurdles. It's just like it's just a natural thing. You're gonna get some type of resistance, whether it be somebody like your personality, whether it be somebody dislike your personality. And again, if you're trying to work on being the better person, your bounce back is so important, because once you bounce back into the place where you need to be, you will look at that situation behind you and say, yeah, I'm glad that's behind me, and I'm glad that I've moved on in a positive, productive way, and I didn't have to do something mad or crazy or lash out on these other individuals because of the way how they treated you or the way how the situation unfolded. Again, never put too much salt on your food because you will turn into a salty person. You understand? Too much salt is not good for your diet. You got to look at it like that. You see, there's so much people that hold things against others because this person done me this, because that person done me that. And don't get me wrong, I was a person who felt like that sometimes. I felt very hard done by. But the only person that I can rely on is me. The only person that I can say, I would never really do that to somebody else, is me. Because I understand, because I've had it done to me. Again, it always took me a level of time to be able to comprehend these things. But even so much to even want to make some form of content about it. Because you're in a place of reconcile and you're in a place of just reflection. And too much reflection is too bad sometimes. I'm a strong believer of that. The mind is very strong. Your mind is... You could make yourself feel like you're sick and you're not sick. That's how strong your mind is. So allowing people to bring you down or pull you out of your character or play you into something which you know is not your persona or you know is not your MO as a person. My MO as a person is not to bring down anybody really. But those who cross me in that path or that type of way, I don't really even have like super bad energy towards them because I realize that everything or everybody is not for me. Just like my content, which I make, is not for every other plumber or every other person online because I'm speaking about things which I know really affect people. They affect me. So I know they affect others. But someone has to be the person to be able to talk about it because it just allows everyone else to understand that we're all humans. If we get a cut, we're going to bleed. Simple. So look into some situations what you've been in yourself, and there's definitely one where you can say to yourself, you know what? That situation brought me out of my character. I acted on impulse or I acted with my feelings instead of doing the process, thinking about it and finding the right way how I can deal with it. The right way isn't always there. So me practicing a level of silence on saying less in certain situations allows me to always have the power, because when you don't speak a lot, those minimal words speak into a loud room and will fill up the whole room. When someone wants to disagree with me about something, oh, well, you did this and you done. Okay, I'll do what you want. That's it. We're done. No problem. Oh, but yeah, I just said no problem, innit? I don't have any problem with what you're saying. You're not going to get an argument out of me. You're not going to get me to rise to that point because I've realised that you're already at this point with me or with whoever else. So we're not going to get anywhere. It's not about laying down. It's about picking your battles. You look at anyone who fights battles in wars, they pick their battles. They try and do this strategy thing. They line up their army in a certain place where it's easy to attack another country. And they attack. But again, there's people who see the attack coming and arm themselves. However you arm yourself in life, yeah, whether it's practicing silence and saying less, or defending yourself with facts. Like, I've had to do that at points, defending myself with facts, having evidence. Someone says you was late. Oh, I've got a picture, I was there. What are you talking about? After a while, that becomes a lot, because everything is about me defending myself, and you better do that at all times. So it becomes a bit tedious to do that time and time after again. You think there must be a better way how to deal with something, and there is, which is finding other options, looking into other avenues when it comes to work to be able to suffice that, because that thing is not working. And it's okay if something doesn't work. Like I said, Rome, all these types of places, Venice, wasn't built within any day. So you can't deal with big problems within any day sometimes. You have to deal with them over a period of time. And a period of time will allow you to grow as a person. And I've realised that for myself, because I've said to myself, you know what? There's some things in life which I could have dealt with a lot differently, but I might not have had the skills, or I might not have had the capacity or the patience. Yeah? But as I've got older, I've realised to myself the patience, and the passion what I have within what I'm doing, it will run you down as a person. So I need to be wary of that in my own actions, so I'm not causing myself more stress and harm than I'm causing myself goodness and success on the other hand. So I just wanted to make this video to remind people that, yeah, sometimes when you take your first step out there, it might not be the best step for you. When you get knocked down from that first step and you get back up and you continue, that's your bounce back. My bounce back is strong because I've realised to myself that some situations what I get myself into quickly, they're not really where I want to be. It doesn't make much sense, but it makes sense for the time being. But am I trying to put all my eggs into that basket? Hell to the no. No way. Why would you? You can see if some things can't work because you can sum them up. I sum a lot of things up into short little bites so it makes sense. Does it make sense traveling this far? Does it make sense given the resources where I'm at? Does it make sense with the position where I'm at? Is there going to be progression? Does it make sense long term working with these types of people? No. So if there's a certain amount of no's, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting a lot into it. We're going to get 25% all the way across the board. And that will be that. It's difficult to keep going from situation to situation, whether it be work, relationships, or just life, and saying to yourself, it's not working. So re-strategize. Ask yourself why it's not working. Look at those things deep between the lines and just not on the surface. Why they don't work. Whether it's you, whether it's the situation, or whether it, you know what, it's just not working. That's okay. It is okay to have some things not work, you know. Many of us have had relationships. I've had many relationships with women, and sometimes it's not worked. I don't always feel it was me. I feel sometimes that maybe how we got together, it wasn't going to work out. Maybe how we viewed each other, it wasn't going to work out. It wasn't going to work out because we might have been not mature enough to get over the little problems which you do have. But for my next relationship, it made me a lot smarter and a lot more in tune to what I need to be doing as a man for her. And I've noticed that when it comes to life, because in my 30s, I'm only trying to better myself so I could be a better person in my 40s. I think to try and make yourself up and go through turmoil after turmoil after turmoil after turmoil, it just makes you think, is this shit even worth it? And sometimes it's not worth it. But only you have to do that maths in that situation to work out if the maths is mathing. Do you understand? And sometimes they're not. It's not mathing, and that's life. That you hear so many people say that is life, and that saying will never go away. That is life, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's just how this situation unfolded. it's not good that it happened to you, but what have you learnt from it? I learned, don't put your eggs in one basket. I'll say that again. I'll say that again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Do not put your eggs in one basket. You've got one life to live. You've got one heart, two lungs, all of that type of stuff. Do you get it? You only got two lungs, yeah? One heart. So understand, putting your soul and your heart into one thing, I wouldn't do it. I've found much more happiness within me being transparent on my channel and being able to tell people where I physically went wrong. I don't mind if people agree, if they disagree, but it's where I've went wrong and where I can be honest with myself. I feel the honesty stems from what you go through. You know, I've been up and I've been down in relationships and in jobs. It's made me feel emotional. It's made me feel like, what is it? Is it me? It's made me ask questions to myself like, I need to change. I need to change for the better for myself, but even for the better for the next woman who's in my life. And again, today in 2025, probably in some of the top tier of boyfriends, me personally, but I'm taken. I have a beautiful lady, and we go through ups and downs. Sometimes we argue, but for me to think that nobody doesn't argue is silly. They do. You argue about some of the minutest things. And some of the things which might have bothered me when I was younger, they don't bother me now. You know, like, I don't have this level of insecurity within trust, because trust is a big thing. You know, in that situation, people trust you with their heart, might give you a house key. So don't upset that trust. And I've realised that at this age. Like, upsetting that trust at this age is just stupid, isn't it? Again, boys be boys. When you're younger, you do mad things. You step out. You might not call her when you get back. You might just do a little cheeky one. But do you want that going forward? Would you want that done to you? No, so you operate a little bit differently. You operate with a lot more respect and a lot more dignity when you do stuff. I feel that that's happened to me so many times during my adult life that I've had to adjust. And I've adjusted for the better of myself, but for the better of her as well, because I personally feel that when you're in a bad situation, yeah, and you've got someone who's there for you, when I mean there for you, in your corner, and can see what's going on, can see what type of person you are, they've got your back. And a lot of the time, men like myself, I would go on like I don't need nobody, but I do. I know that every great man has a woman behind them that holds them up, that helps them, that tells them, babe, you got to get up, you got to get back out there. Because on the outside, sometimes things might seem like everything is hunky-dory. I ain't heard that word in ages. Hunky-dory, or okay, A-okay, everything's running smooth. And then, boom, you hit a problem. How are you going to deal with it? Are you going to jump up? Are you going to attend to it? Or are you going to run away from it? Or is it going to be overwhelming because you've not dealt with one in a long time? All of these scenarios, like, they play back and forward in my head. Because if I was to tell you that I don't think about stuff like that, I'd be lying. I know that I've been an overthinker at points. Overthinking about stuff. Overthinking about how people are going to perceive me on the internet. Worrying maybe to dumb things like, I don't want to do lives and all that because I ain't got a haircut, a trim. Who cares? You don't know here to see my hairline. Don't be stupid. It's just a personal thing, which I might think to myself. But I understand now that me turning up and giving my input to people, whether it's life experience, whether it's turning around a bad situation into a good one, it's all character building. And the way this will build your character, it will make you kind of resilient for a lot of other nonchalance stuff what happens in life. And there is a lot of nonchalant stuff, periodly. We can't always stop it, but we want to minimize the problem so we don't have to do too much damage control. Yeah? Because knock-on effect of you losing your job or ending up out of a relationship is that you need to get back into one, or you might want to get back into one. So first of all, you want to deal with your feelings, and you not want to fester those feelings and carry bad vibes to the next place. Yeah? I don't carry any bad vibes to my next relationship because the one before, that was with that person. That I can't carry on to this new person because that person's got nothing to do with it. And even in hindsight, as the age I am now in my 30s, I know it doesn't make good sense for me to keep bringing up my previous or my old relationships because they're a chapter which now is closed. So if we take that same strategy towards work, like look at certain incidents what you've been in, understand it, calculate it for yourself, look at the risk factor, and you say to yourself, you know what, I was putting myself in a lot of vulnerable positions at this point, and it was inevitable for something turmoil, problematic to happen. I just happened to be there. So that would equate to me saying, don't be so hard on yourself. Again, the internet is a massive place, yeah? And for you to watch others, how they operate in life and how they come across, you would think everything is hunky-dory. It's not. Sometimes things just don't work out how they can work out for you. But you're not to be deterred because, like I said, there's so much people that go through the same types of things, but they don't have the courage to talk about it, or they don't want to show that level of vulnerability. Do you get it? Like, someone called me a masculine man, which I have no problem with. I don't think that's disrespectful towards me. I just feel that that's just a label. No labels have to be true to you. But I'll take that quote, which is, I'm a masculine man, and being a masculine man in certain situations, you won't be able to show your emotions or articulate in ways which other people do who may be a placid man, a more relaxed back man, a laid back Larry. That's what I called that, a laid back Larry man. He might be better in articulating the way how he feels about a situation than myself. But the only clear difference is that we're just all the same. We're just a person trying to get across a message. And that message needs to be clear. It needs to be precise. It needs to be on point. How we get to this is practicing. Because if you don't practice, how are you going to do your best when it gets to there? Another point I want to say is I've practiced just talking instead of being silent in certain situations. I used to exercise silence so much. I was like the silent doctor. You understand? Dr. Silent. If I didn't like a situation, like a clam, just tie it up. But it's not productive, you know. At the point when others want to talk about stuff, I don't want to talk about it. Because I might feel embarrassed. I might feel like, oh, I don't know if you're going to understand. I don't know how far I have to go into detail for you to get me. And if you don't get me now, I feel like you will never get me. which is the wrong thing for me to say, because just like I've just told you just now, I know that people learn. People learn from their lessons from what they've done yesterday to not do it the next day. You know, when you was younger, if your mother told you don't touch the fire, or don't touch this, you do it one time and you burn your hand, and the next time you won't do it again because you burnt. And that's the lesson what you're learning there. And you learn that later on in life as well. You learn that some things are within your control, other things are not within your control. Dealing with the parameters of life, it will just make you think back to what you can control and how you move about it, because it allows it to have magnitude, depth, and impact, right? So a funny thing was, I was watching something which was a live performance. I advise you guys to watch this. It's some T-Pain live performance what he done. The most recent one when he's in like some jazz cafe type of bar type of thing. What he said was, I couldn't believe it because my voice box went, and he's a singer obviously, isn't it? And he wouldn't be able to perform, right? But someone said to him, don't worry, you'll be able to sort it out. And he was stressing out because it was the worst experience for him. But he said, I'm just making it worse by putting more emphasis on it, or pushing it like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's not that bad. There's people that lost a limb today. There's someone that lost an arm. Someone who needs a heart transplant today. Someone that needs a liver. Do you understand? So there's more things which have greater impacts than the thing what you're dealing with right now. It's not to small off your thing or size off your thing and say your thing, it's nothing, it's nothing. Your thing is something. But just understand that today's one day, tomorrow's another day. If you choose to carry stuff on, which I've chose not to really carry stuff on, because I earlier days of my life, I could be an angry person. Yeah? I could be an angry person. And I heard someone say that to me years ago. It's a girl that said it to me. She goes, sometimes you seem like you're angry with the world. Angry with the world is a big statement. But yes, I can be annoyed. And yes, I can carry it on. And it might only be about something really minute. But to me, it's something. So the impact on things, just try and control them. Because when you get over them, you'll look back and say, what that? I don't care about that. And you see the way I laughed? Because yeah, that laugh you need to get. Let me do it one more time. What that? Yeah, that's what I want you to have about it. So I hope if you was going through a situation today, whether it be in your life, whether it be in your working life, they're all intertwined. And I know that at times, if I was feeling stressed out, bothered, angry, anxious, all of those types of things, inside the workplace, inside that place, I don't really want to bring that home. Because a home is not where you should deal with those types of problems. You deal with them all inside the workplace. Just like if I was dealing with my relationship problems or whatever like that, I wouldn't like to take them to work because I don't want to drop any tools. I don't want to fall off a scaffold. I don't want to have my mind be somewhere else so I can't concentrate on the things I need to do. Work in dangerous environments sometimes. So that brings me to the point of don't try and do too much. Do what you can handle. And again, if you ever do have people that you can confide to in life, I mean a friend. I've got some powerful friends who help me in ways which I can only be grateful from God to have those types of friends, because money can't buy them. And they've always been 100 with me, always been a big supporter of me. So I can only be thankful for these people. Again, Thank my friends. I'm thanking my friends for helping me at times when I really needed it. And you could thank your friends one day as well. You just got to listen to them sometimes, because listening to someone else can always change the dynamics of the situation. Again, listen to your partner, hear them out, give it a little bit of breather space sometimes. Don't always try and come back with a hot comment. Do you get it? Back and forward tennis between two people don't make sense. So just think about it, innit? Because if that's that person that cares for you and all that, yeah, it's hard to find somebody like that. It's hard. Be real with you. To find two diamond women, you must have a diamond finder. Do you get it? But I want to end this one on a good note, because bouncing back is how you're going to show how sustainable you are in society, in life, in all walks of everywhere where you're going to go. And people are going to see that. That's going to ooze from the outer you. Do you get it? When people see me, they see that I'm a person that's able to go through struggles. Not that I want to, but I'm able. I choose to do it when I need to do it. But we are no longer going to live life worrying, stressing, and saying to ourselves, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. Sometimes, clear your head, get back to business, bounce back. The bounce back is necessary. And make sure you bounce over to the subscribe button and press that, and the like button, and drop a little comment, please. Appreciate you lot. I want everyone to have an amazing day. Again, if you are going through it today, you can bounce back from it. That's all you have to say to yourself. I can bounce back from this. So please, bounce back, because we are all waiting for you in all of these situations. Appreciate you.